This is the third session on the Indian Constitution. Today we are going to be focusing on the fundamental rights. Remember, in the first session we talked about the four different parts of the Constitution. The third part of the Constitution talks about our fundamental rights. So today let us look at what is the meaning of rights and what are these fundamental rights which are ensured and protected in the Constitution for all of us. So let's look at the fundamental rights of all of us as mentioned in the part 3 of the Constitution. To start with, let us understand the meaning of the word right. When I say I have certain rights, what do I mean? It means I have the freedom which is required for achieving personal and social advancement, and these are called rights. Okay, so if I have to access my rights, I need to be free. I need to have the freedom so that I am able to move ahead in my personal life and in my social life. All those freedoms that are necessary for me to go ahead in life are called rights. Okay, rights will have no meaning without freedom. So unless we are free, we will not be able to exercise our rights. Freedom is very crucial for us to access our rights, to implement them, and to make it to implement them in our lives. There are 6 different kinds of rights which are mentioned in the Constitution for us. Let's look at all of them. The first and a very important right is the right to equality. We've seen earlier in the preamble of the Constitution that equality as a principle is very, very crucial for us. Right to equality. I need to be treated equally. I am equal before the law. I am equal before the government. I am as equal as you are. That is a very, very important fundamental right that is ensured in our Constitution. The second is the right to freedom. We've also seen that without freedom, without being free, I'll not be able to exercise my right. Right to be able to freely live in this country. Right to freedom is a second important right ensured in the Constitution. Right against exploitation. I have a right to protect myself if I am exploited. Exploitation can happen anywhere, anytime. It can happen within families, it can happen within communities, it can happen anywhere in any part of the country, in whatever capacity that I am. I may be working somewhere, I may be working in my own house, I may be a housewife, I may be working in a company, or I may be a farmer. Any place of work or anywhere where I am residing, I have a right to speak against the exploitation if I am going through. Right to freedom of religion. Remember, we are a secular country. All the religions, all the people who belong to different faiths have a right to reside in this country freely, to profess their faith, to believe in the rituals, to worship the way they want to worship. The right to freedom to exercise our religion, right to freedom of religion is something which is ensured in the Constitution of the country. Cultural and educational rights. If I belong to a certain religion, or even if I don't profess any religion, I have certain cultural practices which I follow. There's certain things which I believe in, certain things which I would want to do it. There's a certain way of life which I'm used to follow. Now that right to live my own cultural life is ensured in the Constitution. I have a right to set up educational institutions. I have a right to educate myself. Education is a fundamental right ensured in the Constitution of our country. Now this is ensured and protected. Right to constitutional remedies. If any of my rights are violated by any other person, by any other group, or by the government, I have the right to approach the courts and ask for remedy. I have the right to approach the courts to tell them that, look, here I am, these rights are ensured by the Constitution and they are violated by certain authorities or by certain other set of people. I have the right to constitutional remedy. I have the right to approach the courts if my rights are violated. Right to equality is part of Articles 14 to 18. Let us look at each of these a little more closely. Irrespective of religion, gender, caste, race, or place of birth, I am equal as anybody else. I have also the right to access equal economic opportunities, equal employment opportunities in the government. And the abolition of untouchability is also mentioned between the articles in 14 and 18. What are the different freedoms that I have? Okay. One is the freedom of speech. I have the right to speak and express what I believe in. I have the right to express myself. I have the freedom to assemble. I have the freedom to get people together, but of course cannot use violent means to do that. I have the freedom to form association. I can form unions. I can get people, like-minded people together to form associations. It is a freedom given to me by the Constitution. I have the freedom to practice any profession, any work, any way in which I can look after myself economically. I have the right, the freedom to profess any profession, to practice any profession. And finally, I have the freedom to reside in any part of the country. These are very, very crucial 6 important freedoms that are ensured in the Constitution of the country. Let us go through it again. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of assembly without arms, freedom of association, freedom to practice any profession, any work, and the freedom to reside in any part of the country. The third important right is the right against exploitation. These rights are mentioned in Articles 23 and 24. A very important aspect of our society, unfortunately, is trafficking of human beings and forced labor. Okay? These are mentioned in the Constitution, and if I am subjected to any one of these, I have the right to protest. I have the right to demand that I should be treated with dignity and with as an equal citizen. So the right against exploitation is very clearly mentioned in the Constitution. The Constitution also talks about prohibition of child labor. It is none of our business to employ our children, to get them to work at an age when they should be educating themselves. Okay, so this is an important right mentioned in the Articles 23 and 24. Right to religion is mentioned between 25 and 28 number of articles. The fact that right to religion is mentioned so specifically, it indicates that we are a secular nation. We are a nation which comprises of people of all religions, of different kinds of religions, of different ideologies and faiths. Our Constitution gives equal respect to all religions. All religions are equal before the law. All religions are equal before the government. All religions are equal as far as citizens are concerned. I have the right to profess and propagate my religion. So it is not just about following my faith in my personal life, but I also have the right to talk about my religion, to propagate my religion, to profess my religion, to let the world know what is my religion and how I follow it. These are the rights which are given to you by the Constitution. State has got no official religion. That is a very, very important aspect of our Constitution. We are a country with diverse religions. We are a country of people who follow diverse religious practices. But the state, the government, has got no religion of its own. It is the responsibility of the government to treat all people belonging to different religions equally. All are equal before the law. As I said earlier, we have the freedom to practice our faith, also establish and maintain religious institutions, establish and maintain cultural, charitable institutions, anything that helps me to take my religious identity forward, to take my faith forward. The Constitution of the country gives me the right to do that. Cultural and educational rights, these rights are mentioned in Articles 29 and 30. Protect the rights of religious, cultural and linguistic minorities. In our country, we understand that there are people who belong to religions which are in the minority. The number of people following those religions are not really very large. There are also linguistic minorities. Our Constitution gives us the right to protect linguistic and religious minorities. We also have the right to preserve our heritage and our culture. So if I belong to a certain linguistic minority, I have the right to protect my language, to promote my language, to promote the script of my language. These are the rights given to me by the Constitution. Education is an important right. Education is a fundamental right. Each and every child in this country has the right to educate itself, go to a school, find means by which it can educate itself. Everybody, irrespective of your caste, religion, gender, every child in this country has got the right to education. And finally, between the articles 32 and 35, if any of my rights are violated, I have the right to approach the courts. I have the right to demand that my rights are protected and promoted. Any aggrieved party has got the right to go to the court. And the court then will issue writs so that my fundamental rights are protected. Thank you so much, and please do subscribe, give your comments and suggestions.